holograms, and many of you probably have a general idea of what they are. You see them in movies all the time. You see them, well, you see them on your driver's license, debit and credit cards, and like the little stickers under like your hat. If you get like a new era MLB hat, they'll have little hologram stickers on them. So I'll talk about that. And so a hologram is pretty much just a 3D image. That's all it really is, a 3D image that you can look around and put your hand through, and it will still be fine. And that's pretty much what it is. The technical definition, no. I'll just go the easy way. That's easier to understand. So this is pretty much how holograms work. As you see, the laser, it will hit it's called like a beam splitter, and it just bounces off a series of mirrors until it hits the object you want to be projected, and then it will come up. And this guy explains it really well. Yes, he is British.
He's British? So, the best.
Oh, probably.
Audio would be good.
With a laser. You take the laser beam and you split it into two. One of those we're going to use as a reference beam, and the second one we're going to bounce off our object. So just like with a photograph, you have light bouncing off an object which then hits a photographic plate. Great. What you need to do now, which is different from a photograph, is reflect that reference beam into that plate. What that's going to give you is an interference pattern between the two beams, and that is what allows you to capture the phase. And there you go, you've made a hologram.
Okay, so as you see, it's actually really simple to do that. Like going in, I was like, how the heck do you even make a hologram? The only time I ever knew what a hologram was is Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's a good reference.
That's pretty much the only time, or like in Iron Man, there's tons of holograms. So I was really surprised on actually how easy it is to make one. And then I read something at MIT. It took them like almost a year to make something project out of like a camera like it did on R2-D2. And they actually made the Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, You're My Only Hope with Princess Leia. And they said it took them forever just because not the hologram was like getting the hologram to go out of a lens was the hard part, not actually making the hologram itself. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then this is where you find them. Anything 3D, like technically a 3D movie is a hologram. It's just, you can't like go around it and see like the back part of it. And then on your credit card, if you on your driver's license and credit card, if you tilt it, you see different little, I don't know how to explain it. If you see different like images, I guess, that's technically a hologram. And then you see them all the time in movies, pretty much anything Star Wars, tons of ones in Avatar, and Iron Man is a big one when he shows you, I'll just show you a picture. See, I thought this was cool because in Star Wars, you have obviously the most famous one. And then there's one, and that's episode 3. And then this one right here is Avatar, when they're looking around the big tree, and then Iron Man, when he's first assembling his suit, how he's just kind of grabbing it from the air, which I found out we were quite a ways from that, taking it and stuff like that. I thought that was cool. And there's all the links I use and the website, different websites to use. And so if I could have the lights off. It worked last night, so I'm hoping it works today. It's super sketchy, so.
Well, that's all right, though. That's cool.
So I have a whole bunch of different videos. And you have to look through.
What'd you make it out of?
Yeah, a CD case and a whole bunch of tape. So if you look through that, you're kind of get kind of low. You can see the Millennium Falcon there.
Oh, yeah, you can see it.
And then there's another really cool one. There's one with a fish. That's really cool, I thought. It shows like a fish approaching and swimming. And I'll see if I can do that. Well, I made it one, and I made it too big, so I only got half of the image to see half the image.
That is cool.
But this is too legit.
Well, at first, it all started when I was trying to find a projector to hook up to my phone to put on my wall. Then I found someone make this, and they said, just make it out of a CD. So I was like,
So
All right,
what?
there
Okay,
you go.
so you
What's
made
the
out of
CD?
your CD case. So what exactly did you do to make it? Tell
Oh,
them. So
okay. So what I did is I just measured like a centimeter. I forgot how like long that was, and you just make it at the same angle.
Mhm.
And I just took a box cutter and just I do have a
a boo boo,
yes.
Dedication.
box cutter boo boo.
I hurt myself for vision tech right there.
For the good.
And so then you just take a box cutter, cut them all, then kind of trace. Once you get one, you can just set it down on the CD and trace it.
Mhm.
So I went through a lot of CD cases trying
I
to get
bet.
this to work. And then just took some really cheap tape, just taped the corners, and there you go. I was really worried it wouldn't work because it seemed too simple almost, but once I got to work, it was pretty cool.
What is it?
My little brother thought the one with the Millennium Falcon was the coolest thing he's ever seen.
See, you're inspired. You're building a nerd out of him already. This is
Oh,
good.
trust me, he's giant Star Wars fan.
Okay, good.
There
If
we
you guys
go.
have some questions, I mean, there's some good stuff.
Any questions? Jacob, you have any questions?
How do you see this being a part of or changing your technology, perhaps?
Oh, I think people want it to be like in movies almost. They want to be able to drag and drop different holograms, which
Open up your computer site. I'm gonna have to look something up. Yeah, I'm gonna have you show something here in a second.
all right.
What do you guys think? Where do you see this involved in your world? Because holograms, we've watched them, but they've always been more a part of movies.
They've
Or
always been like way too.
architecture fields would be really cool, especially if you're designing things, right? What about, the whole 3D printing thing? You can see the object in 3D before you actually print the thing,
Yeah, not just on your screen, but
right? Let me see if I can get the name of the company. IMG and Wichita. Look that up for me. IMG and Wichita. Okay, so like when you guys watch movies, there is a company that does a ton of those movies. Like, so when you watch the first Iron Man, when he is flying supposedly in his mask and you see the hologram like, yep, that's the yes, integrated the media group. Can you look up hit their website for us?
Is this their website? Take.com.
No.
Wichita Jobs.
Underneath on the right. Let's see if their website's listed down there. Anyway, this company is out of Wichita. They do that. That's for the movies. That's what they do. They do a lot. They've done a lot of the background work for Iron Man, for the Avengers movies, for they do a lot of 3D like imaging stuff, and this is their company. So that's what's really cool is, and I want you guys to think about this, is a Lynchburg native started this company. His last name is Opat, Jason Opat. And one of the things he does is, besides websites and other graphic work, is he creates a ton of hologram-like backgrounds for commercials. But here's what's also cool. He does small film, and his latest venture is to create something called a kiosk, which has a 3D projectable hologram girl or guy that you set up in a business. And when you come in, it'll interact with you.
Oh, that's weird.
So yeah, so it basically pops up and then you can touch the screen and ask questions and they will respond in a live format. And a lot of people are purchasing those for like hospitals or entrances to big companies because you can ask directions and have this interface respond to you without actually having a person there 24 hours a day, right? It's really cool. I took my class there on a field trip. It's been 4 or 5 years ago. They did all the live website for the Warren Theater. So yeah, just a really cool company. The thing I wanted you to note is when Jason hires people, he does not hire just technology people. He looks for people who are really creative and who have some ability to handle or create within technology. He told me the last person he hired was a tuba major. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah. He said, full-time music major, extremely creative, had a tech background. That's who I hired. So that's what's really cool. if you're interested in technology stuff, that'd be a great place to intern, for your summer, or go volunteer some hours. I think Mitch Supas went down there and worked for a while when he was in high school. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Their website's really cool.
It is cool, somewhere on it they'll list all the movies. That they've done.
I was trying to find that.
And it's kind of, I don't know where it is for sure, but they do list all the movies, and you can see all of the hologram like, especially when you talk to Jarvis, that's them.
Really?
Creating the visual part, not the audio part, the visual part. So awesome, very good. Okay, thank you very much, Brett. I enjoyed that a lot. Time for the Josh.
Like, technically, part of this is all. Wow. Wow. A reflect sticker. Wow. 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 They're like, oh, there's holograms. They're not. And then it said on your driver's license. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I guess that's right.
Throw that in your drive folder, your keynote. So
All right.
I'm going to go look at your sources later, okay? All right, we're ready to go.
All right, for this, I'm going
That's
to be
cool.
really class interactive. I'm going to be asking a show of hands, or maybe ask a question, point to the person, whoever answers. So diving into the deep web. In a show of hands, has anyone heard of the deep web, dark web, extra web? All right,
Yeah.
good. So we'll be diving into it. And a lot of people know it as the scary part of the internet, or it's all drug-related crimes. But it's actually not. It's actually, I think, 90% of the internet that you don't see. You only get the 20%. So what is the deep web? Underground-wise, a lot of things that you see come to light and come to public, it starts from the underground or the ghetto, or people may not know about it, and it comes out, and people start to see in public. So what do you see? So when you see and you use Google, you're only getting 20% of the whole entire database of the internet. And the other 80% or 90, they're still trying to run estimates on it, is the deep web, which is other websites that you have never seen, other links, other marketplaces you've never seen. And it's actually really kind of interesting because a lot of people use these and you have probably no idea. So who uses the deep web? The military, the police, and journalism. Military use it because there's secret websites to get intel on maybe certain criminals over during war times. The same with police units to get information, or maybe secret directories for past criminals that are in businesses, but you can't just get that using Google. So they use this more or less to be able to get a lot of information that's not released to the public. How's it accessed? Who here, to show of hands, has heard of Tor network? Okay, good. Tor network. It's actually known as it directs internet traffic through a free worldwide volunteer network connection that more than 7,000 relays connects to a user's location and uses for anyone connecting to the network. And what that means in shorter terms is that it's like not traceable, it's more private. People use this to get to sites like the deep web, or people just like to use it because they don't like the whole government watching me 24/7 thing. So, and this is a free download. It's a free source. It can be downloaded. It can be accessed easily, actually, just by following instructions. So now you probably heard me say about all this private, secret, criminals, terrorists, whatever. So that's the big question. Is it illegal? No, it's not. There's only certain things on there that you'll find that is a little bit unsure, but of course there's no filtering. It's technically private, and it's actually you're accessing another surface. As you'll see a picture at the end, it has a big iceberg, and then there's water. Above the water, there is everything you see, and under it is everything that you don't see, but it can still be found. So what will you find? Majority of the website that you will find are never heard of, and this will be marketplaces, search engines, directory, forums, communities, and even like private messaging through like groups that maybe you started over the internet or in the real world actually. And now the cons of the deep web, the bad stuff. There is a website known as the Silk Road where there is illegal drug trading, there's illegal gun trading, and these are more or less not real, like a scam. There is hitmen for hire sites. You can spend like $10,000 to get someone killed, but I just still think that's just more or less a scam. But there's those kinds of websites, and you'll find some other uncensored Wikipedia pages that has some disgusting stuff on it. It's just a matter of how you tread the deep web and what you want to find, and you have to be careful when using the Tor network and searching it. So with all those illegal tradings and things to purchase, how many people here heard of Bitcoin? This is what got Bitcoin popular, was the deep web, to buy things on there, because it's a non-trackable source of income you can make or spend on something, and it's increased in value went up exponentially with the sites that they're on the deep web. And now understanding it and like the safety of it. The reason why it's there is because it is the internet. It's not like a whole evil side of the internet. It's just the internet, but there's no filters from Google. You're not getting the most clicked research or like the most clicked word or trafficking. And it's just there, and there's a secret way of getting it with the private connections. And you can, some of them you can click on the links. You can type in deep web links, and they'll be all right there. Some of them you get onto, some of them you need a private or proxy to get onto with like the Tor network. And the biggest thing to where I see this being used more is research, because journalists use it, police and military, like I said before, will use it a lot because to get information that they don't want that's already known in the public. So that's actually one of the most biggest things about it. And just as I say again, if you want, you can go onto it right now, but you have to be careful of what you find and be prepared to what you see, because there is some weird downloads and everything that could just appear and you may not even notice it. And that's when we're excited, and that's diving into the deep web.
All right, questions?
Yes, sir.
Is the deep web the second page of Google?
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so my question is, did you go dig on it?
I have gone on some websites in the past, but I just try to like avoid it. That's why I don't have a video of it, because a lot of videos is like, 10 deep disturbing facts about it. But I have gone, and like I said, it's really easy. You just have to follow like a list of instructions, and 5 minutes you're already there, and you won't even know it.
So are the sites that are on there, would they be hooked up to SEO? Just thinking about what we learned about SEO. No, right?
Right, it's private.
Because they're running differently, and there's a lot of stuff you can buy or purchase or work on within that. That's why it's got the shady reputation. So, besides porn and sales and bad things, sometimes it's people advertising or doing things that are illegal. They're selling those goods or whatnot. So, all right, that makes right now you guys are going, I'm going to go home and try it. All right, thank you very much.
Josh, can you grab my old
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, Miss Bailey.
Like trying to 2-finger. Check it. No, not check it. Thanks.
Okay, shut your lids. You're not fiddling with your computer right now. You're watching her. Okay.
Okay, so I did Tesla cars, and my grabber point is will turn 16 stand for something in 10 years. Because now
Yeah,
when you turn 16,
Good question.
you're able to drive, and then is that even going to matter? So the difference between a Tesla and a gasoline-powered car is that the Tesla is electricity-powered, and most cars today are gasoline-powered. The Tesla has 4 main systems, which are the energy storage system, the power electronics module, the electric motor, and sequential manual transmission, whereas the gasoline-powered has hundreds of moving parts. The energy storage system, it just stores the batteries and the power. The power electrics module is a power inverter and charging system that converts DC power to AC power using 72 insulated bipolar transistors, and that's scientific. basically it controls the voltage levels and transmits the power. The electric motor is just a motor run by electricity instead of gas. And the sequential manual transmission allows you to switch gears and go faster or slower.
One point right off the bat. Tesla's auto steering stuff doesn't turn the Model S into a full-blown self-driving car. You don't get to hop in the car and punch in your destination and just conk out for a nap. You still have to pay attention. You still need to keep your hands on the wheel, and the features are primarily useful for making your highway commutes less painful. When the car has a good sense of the road ahead, an icon on the dash lights up to tell you that you can enable auto steering. To enable it, you just pull the cruise control stick twice. Once you're on the highway, it keeps you in your lane, follows the car ahead of you, unless they try to drive off a cliff or something, and maintains your speed. I had my hands hovering just off the wheel, and it took me around bend after bend without issue. It's like a super advanced version of cruise control. I don't know where to put my hands. Don't expect it to work in city streets very much. It'll technically work, but it doesn't know how to do things like, stopping at stoplights. So you're still going to be doing a lot manually in the city streets. It'll also change lanes for you automatically. Just pop on the blinker, loosen your grip on the wheel, and it'll glide into that next lane once it's safe. If the car's AI starts to have any doubt that it can handle steering, it'll let out an escalating series of alerts to encourage you to grab the wheel. If for some reason you don't grab the wheel, it throws on your emergency blinkers and slows the car to a stop. Oh, and it'll parallel park for you, which is great for that person who never wants to left who was always asking, can I fit there? I think I can fit there, only to spend 15 minutes proving that they cannot, in fact, fit there.
Okay, so of course there have been plenty of accidents with these cars, but they're still working on them. In this crash right here, the blame is disputable. I believe that it was the car's fault, but the driver was not in the car, luckily. He turned the car completely off and had just gotten out of the car, and his friend came up to see his new car because it was a new ride. And they were standing outside the car for about 20 to 30 seconds and then went inside, and he came back out 5 minutes later and found this. So the car was completely off. So I believe it was the car, but the Tesla, the company, blames him, and they went back and found out that he never shut off the self-parking feature. But I mean, he shut the car completely off and closed the door. I don't know, but. And also, it didn't happen until at least 30 seconds after he left the car. So.
Interesting.
Wait, so it just shot forward?
Yeah. But and then in this video, a Tesla actually prevents an accident from happening. And this guy, the driver, is currently just like sitting there. He's not really driving, but he's listening to an audiobook, so he's not really paying attention.
Yep.
And as you can see, it just swerves and goes back in immediately, so it doesn't like keep going off.
Wow.
So in that case, the Tesla saved him. And that's my work cited. And then I sent out an email, just a little survey for the class participation portion, if you guys wanted to take that.
All I hear is Ethan over there. What an idiot.
Well, he was an idiot. Yeah, it's interesting. So I'm just thinking of questions you want to ask. Because you see a lot of this technology already in bits and portions in new cars, right? So like my car, I have a backup screen, and it tells me exactly where I'm going, and it beeps if I get close to any object. So have you guys seen, it's the cars that'll park themselves now? I mean, that's pretty cool. I've seen somebody use it once. But the having it drive for you and kind of like cruise control would be hard for me to let it do that. I think I'd be like freaking out the whole time. Google claims to have a totally operational vehicle that they will put on the roads that you will not even set forward in.
Yeah, they like
You will set. It's like a bubble-like situation, and you set and face the people who are in the back of the car, but you don't ever face forward. You just program it, and it drives for you.
It has so many
I wouldn't do it.
Well, basically, the claim is that if all of vehicles are like this, that it will immensely reduce accidents, period. It'll take the idiot factor out of it.
Unless you accidentally program it.
Unless you, well, you know, and see,
Like-
that's the whole issue is
Like
the
micro-
programmable part of it, and it will be a part of the grid, I imagine. Can you imagine if somebody hacks that and does something terrible to any kind of those systems, right?
Did you hear about the lady that was driving and she set her GPS and she drove right into a lake? And she's like, the GPS
why are we
wouldn't
laughing
turn, so I
at
did.
She's
like-
gifted, obvious.
That's like Michael in the office. Somebody tries it in the lake.
Because the GPS tells him to. It's interesting. Okay, interesting stuff, guys. All right, very good. Thank you very much.
You were that old. I think she was like 30s.
Oh, so that makes it okay.
I don't get. We're about out of time, so we'll stop there. We'll start with Jacob tomorrow.